Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us at this exciting opening of the Agro-Processing Learning Lab at the Knockalva Polytechnic College here in the beautiful Hanover. I'm Ruth Chisholm. I'm the Country Program Director for the Advanced Program, and I will be your humble guide this morning, trying to get you through this quick program, and we hope you enjoy it. We also hope you're already following us on social media. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram, and of course, some of you are watching via YouTube. Just, we want you to definitely enjoy this program. Just sit back and relax, and we are going to tell you a little bit about agro-processing. In fact, let's hear from Cliff Riley. Now, Cliff Riley is the CEO of New Leaf Canada Inc. and Co., Chief Operating Officer, sorry. And he is a scientist, a researcher. He's also worked with several of our students and contributed his expertise to several areas of agro-processing program. So right now, let's hear a little bit from Cliff on agro-processing.
My name is Cliff Riley, the Chief Operations Officer for New Leaf Canada Inc. and the CEO for Research and Product Development Solutions here in Jamaica. When you think of agro-processing, one usually look on adding value to a primary material. In most cases, you're looking on growing your crops in the field, you're tending to your animals in the field. It's the finished product that you develop from that now is what fits within agro-production, agro-processing system. So you're moving your tomatoes, for example, through to tomato juice or tomato paste. You go through a processing method where you actually add value to that material, and you package it in such a way that it's more convenient, more accessible, and in some cases more stable and adding value consistently. Then you move further along the value chain in terms of distribution, storage, and all of those other components. So it's really moving, adding innovation, utilizing technology to solve problems and improve on your primary produce. Well, in Jamaica, there's quite a bit of processing occurring in the agricultural space. We were primarily a primary producer based value chain in a sense, where most persons are looking on taking fresh produce from the farms, utilizing those directly. But we're looking at the convenience market now, and more persons have become more engaged in terms of employment, in terms of less flexibility to the environment. So convenience has become one of the major areas. And this has led to a number of companies coming on board, looking at ways and means of adding value to food materials, as well as ensuring that they are available and that one can transcend and move across boundaries. So these materials can move in the forms that are acceptable and commonly are easily used by members of our diaspora. So there has been tremendous growth in the Jamaican space. You have seen quite a bit of concentrates, quite a bit of canned foods, quite a bit of value, vacuum sealed products going to the market space as well, as we've been adding innovation and new technologies to make foods more convenient, of high nutritional value and easily accessible. The thing with agro-processing, it's really a process, and it takes quite a bit of training, and it's not just book-related knowledge, it's hands-on training. So having persons going through the different steps in processing, in procuring, in handling and managing agro-produce is really critical to the success of any industry. And when you're looking at the agro-productive sector, having access to such a facility, especially for the training purposes, is really, really priceless, as those skills can be developed. And the development of such skills is what will spin off into the formation of other companies, other processing facilities, and as well as bringing new innovations or other innovations to the market space. So it is really important to be able to provide that hands-on experience to complement the theoretical components when you're training persons to become solid agro-processors and innovators in the agricultural space. Having an agro-processing facility that can be accessed by students and used for training of students in the western side of Jamaica really speaks volume to strengthening and improving the agro-productive force as well as the workforce during that side area of Jamaica. And it means it's a significant gain, because when you think of it, Western Jamaica is one of the major areas that have been focusing on agro production. They tend to have the largest losses when you come on to glut in the market space, especially with your fruits like watermelons, your tomatoes. And having those skill sets developed among the students, the students in those programs, can come with significant solutions or result in significant solutions to addressing some of those problems and ensuring that there's food security in those spaces. One of the things I'd really like to identify and try and encourage persons within different spaces, both private and public, is to take on an evidence-based approach or pragmatic approach to solving some of the challenges we're facing. In the Jamaican space, we have significant concerns when looking at food security and food safety, and we need to engage in, encourage, and participate more in research and development type activities to support these activities, these developments, as well as to consider the relevance and importance of capacity building, how we transfer the knowledge that we have within different spaces to the future workforce, so there can be some continuity, there can be constant innovation, and with the hope of improving the value chain and ensuring that our agricultural sectors can benefit and grow tremendously, as we proceed in the future years. Agriculture may not be very sexy, but it's very profitable. And one has to consider the fact that the first option that one will take in any particular scenario is to feed themselves first. If we can't assure and guarantee food security, then we can't guarantee health, we can't guarantee anything else. So even though it may not be as attractive as, traditionally been seen, there are quite a bit of opportunities. There are many, many opportunities in terms of employment, and there are many opportunities for entrepreneurial type ventures. So I would encourage students to just open your minds, look on the opportunities that exist, and see what solutions you can bring to the fore, what products you can develop that you can take to market, and how to expand the market, use your creativity and imagination, and to see how we can ensure that there's a vibrant agricultural sector and our food security and safety is guaranteed.
And that was great hearing from Cliff. We can call him Cliff. He's a good friend of the program. So I did say I'm the country program director for Advance. Advance is a workforce development program funded by USAID, implemented by FHI 360. You're going to hear from several partners today. Some of those include the Council of Community Colleges Executive Director, Donna Powell-Wilson, who will give you a little bit more on the partnership with Advance. But in terms of workforce development, this program came about because USAID saw the research was saying there was such a skills gap among youth. In order for us to get going, we had to do a labor market sectors review. And based on that, we saw that there were opportunities in agribusiness, wellness tourism, and the creative industries. This morning, we're focusing on agribusiness, and that's why we're here helping to launch this lovely agro-processing lab for the students. I'm going to give you a chance to hear a little bit from our great colleague and partner, or donor, USAID's Sienna Flesher, followed by Kirsten Gallison from FHI 360. Both of these ladies are joining us from Washington, D.C., and they'll tell you a little bit more about Advance in the region and why these two organizations are doing the work that they are doing.
Good morning. My name is Sienna Fleischer, Education Officer at USAID Washington. It is my sincere pleasure to be with you all today, albeit virtually, to open the Learning Lab and welcome a community partnership for education that is sure to be a success. Advance, supported by our partner FHI 360, is working across 4 countries in the region to answer the need to give youth professional opportunities. In the countries of Guatemala, Honduras, Dominican Republic, and of course Jamaica, we are working with groups of tertiary level professional practicums to give youth opportunities to insert these new skills in the labor market and answer demand. This is the school to work continuum that so many countries sorely need right now. With 71 million youth unemployed and the youth bulge making countries like Jamaica extremely young, we need to find a way to match what is supply with demand. And I feel like Advance does that. It's a wonderful model of institutional strengthening coupled with relevant pedagogy based on evidence. What the labor market assessment shows, we design courses to answer that, and in that way fill gaps in the labor market. I want to thank Ruth and her powerful team who today have made this partnership a reality. And to the students who will benefit from the Learning Lab, I wish you the best experience ever. Take full advantage of how technology can enhance your yields, whether it be sauces or fruit snacks or a new entrepreneurial idea. Take the opportunity to use this lab and expand it to its fullest extent. I wish you honestly the best experience. I know this year has been particularly difficult, and so I am just so grateful to Ruth and the team to see this new reality open up. Thank you. All the best.
Thanks so much, Ruth. On behalf of FHI 360, it's a pleasure to join you all for this virtual event, really celebrating the opening of this Agro-Processing Learning Lab. In many ways, the opening of the Learning Lab really exemplifies the best of FHI 360's work in post-primary and higher education. FHI 360 has been working in similar programs in contexts all over the world, such as in Afghanistan, Morocco, and regionally with this advanced program in Guatemala, Honduras, and the Dominican Republic. These programs all work to strengthen the capacity of education systems to provide quality education and help align policies to meet both student needs and labor market requirements. Our interventions are also designed to build critical cognitive, technical, and social emotional skills that prepare adolescents and young adult students to become successful and productive adults. USAID has also been very focused on the importance of providing youth-relevant skills to enter the labor market, and also ensuring that we're training for jobs that are in the market now and in the near future in each context, and that we're focused on ensuring students acquire these relevant hard and soft skills. So the Learning Labs really highlight two of Advance's result areas and main bodies of work. Improving the quality of technical education by aligning the curriculum to the private sector, to the industry trends and best practices, as well as our work in labor market bridging, in which we're providing students with practical experiences. We're bringing industries into these labs, so there are interactions with students, and in this case, students are gaining practical, hands-on experience, and it's going to prepare them for the workforce and beyond. Thanks so much to CCCJ, Knockalva Polytechnic College, and the Advanced Jamaica team for really bringing this learning lab to fruition, and to USAID for supporting this really important work. Best of luck to all the students as they complete their technical education. Thanks.
Thanks. Good to hear from Sienna and great to hear from Kirsten. It's always good to feel the strength of your team, even in other countries, even though we're online and not able to be together. So you heard us mention CCCJ, that's the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica. And the partnership between Advance and CCCJ has allowed us to work with several of their member colleges, one of those being Knockalva Polytechnic. So we're here talking about agro-processing and talking about this learning lab. You see, the students are actually doing an associate degree in agro-processing and business management here at Knockalva. This learning lab is one of the ways to enhance that learning experience. So what they get in theory, they get to practice in this lab. And therefore, as you heard from Sienna and from Kirsten, this is going to help them to be better prepared for the world of work. But let's hear from them.
It feels good to be training for an industry that is essential to life. My classmates and I are happy to be a part of the Agro-Processing and Business Management program here at the Knockalva Polytechnic College.
I love agriculture, and that is the sole reason why I am pursuing a degree in Agro-Processing and Business Management. What I love about this program is that I am able to conduct research, gain hands-on experience in culinary arts, food preparation, and food processing, and also to develop new products from locally grown crops. This program is not just about getting your hands dirty, it's about agriculture, food processing, and business management. This program gives me an opportunity to grow and explore.
The Agro-Processing and Business Management is a 2-year associate degree. This program is very dynamic and diverse, and it is in keeping with the vision and mission of Knockalva Polytechnic College. Through this program, students are engaged in primary production through agriculture, secondary production through processing, and they are exposed to the business aspect of agriculture. In agriculture, students are engaged in primary production by producing their own raw materials. In the agro-processing aspect, students engage in processing where they add value to the products they produce. This program is fun, it's interesting, it combines the theoretical and practical aspect together, make it wholesome. It also encourages collaboration, creativity, and forward thinking. This program is supported by USAID through the Advanced program.
Agro-processing and business management is an eye-opener. It is not only about agriculture. It is an all-rounded program. The program is fun.
I grew up around farming, and I've always been interested in agriculture and the reducing of food that we waste. I am grateful that I have gotten this opportunity to be a part of this program. This is possible because of a scholarship that I've gotten from the USAID and through the Advanced program. I really like the program because it captivates me in which by taking raw material and turning it into a final product. After completing my degree, I would like to start my own business and make my own products. Even partner with big companies like Visingo and Grace Kennedy.
Agro-processing and business management is a very interesting program where you learn about food preservation and ways how to create your own product. For example, today we are making sour wine and condensed milk. The process includes fermentation and condensation. What I would like to see is more food being produced locally and more investment in this industry. My contribution will be to create new products and encourage others to join this wonderful program.
Agro-processing component is very practical, authentic, and has an hands-on approach. Students are exposed to courses such as food chemistry, food microbiology, food engineering, and introduction to food processing. At the end of these components, students will engage in food product development where they must use authentic, original Jamaican raw material to come up with a new product.
What a lot of my colleagues like about this program is how hands-on it is. We know it is important for us to have the resources that will equip us with the skills and knowledge needed for the workplace. That is why we are so excited about this space. In April, we will be having our first class in this space. It will be transformed into the Agro-Processing Learning Lab. We are excited about the things we will make and place on the market.
We're all excited about this program and what it can do for us.
One day, I will create new products. I know that this lab will help me to do it.
We will make an impact on this industry.
So you heard from the students, you also heard from one of the leading faculty members on what's really happening here at Knockalva and the great plans for the Learning Lab. I am joined by, I'm going to say, the fantastic Mrs. Pauline Reed, who is the principal of Knockalva Polytechnic. And every time we have visited this school, you have made the entire team feel like family. I mean, even our colleagues in DC have felt your letters. They have said, wow, they're so emphatic and they're so passionate. And it is true. And you can see it when you walk the grounds, the beautiful grounds here at Knockalva. So tell us about Knockalva. Tell us the story of Knockalva. Knockalva even joined the membership of the community colleges recently, about what, 2 years maybe? So tell us a little bit about
2 years
Knockalva.
exactly. Knockalva was transitioned from what was a vocational secondary setting into what is now a post-secondary institution. And this came about as a part of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Culture, Youth and Information, their thrust to take a strategic approach to the whole organization of secondary and tertiary level education. We sit on 216 acres of arable land. So you can understand our rationale for making agriculture predominantly our focus. 2018, I came on board and I was mandated to transition this place. I have with me an excellent team. And I say that because I describe the staff as very competent. But you know, Ruth, competence can come from experience. It can come from paper certification. But in this case, I can tell you that added to all that, they are passionate, they are enthusiastic, and nothing more is more important to me than the reality that they really care about human development. And so they have been reaching out to the students. And so what we boast of at this place is the deliverables, because they stop at nothing to ensure that the students excel. We have had collaboration with various tertiary institutions. Because new on board, you would have recognized that we would have needed some kind of scaffolding.
Yes.
And I just want to applaud Dr. Powell Wilson, because she has really been providing some hand-holding for us. And when you came here, we were impressed because you and your team showed us that you were exhibiting deep level of human sensitivity, because you recognize the plight of our students here, and you knew, and from back then, that the trajectory of their lives had to be changed in a positive way, because we had so many students who had been disengaged for very long. And in light of that, we now offer a slew of programs. And the slew of programs certainly including agro-processing and business management. The students here are from right across the island. They are not just confined to Ramble or the Western region. They come from right across the island, because we have been fortunate enough to have had benefactors restoring 2 of our dormitories. And
So
so
you can
we're,
keep more students.
we're able now to offer boarding facilities. It is a phenomenal place with a lot of promise, and we dare to dream.
Yes.
And the good thing is we have persons like your team, the advanced team through
HI 360,
yes, FHI 360, that team also dreaming with us, and not just dreaming, but making our dream a reality. And at my age, not just dream, but it has to be a vision.
So you mentioned Dr. Powell Wilson, who we are going to hear from shortly.
Yes, good.
Based on our partnership with CCCJ, this program, this Agro-Processing and Business Management Associate degree, is also being offered at CASE, Montego Bay Community College, and Knox. And I know you mentioned learning and them hand-holding and scaffolding. So with the hand-holding and the learning, tell us a little more about the actual program, the actual degree program.
For the actual program, we started out wanting to ensure that our students were able to embrace 21st century practices and trends, and then to be on board with technological development. Of course, you know, we were challenged in that way. But we decided that we were going to establish a lab so that we could offer authentic learning experiences, so the students would know what it feels like to be working in the industry, and also to be working in the marketplace. And so we decided that we would establish the lab. So the lab is indeed our response to marketplace needs. And you would recognize too that where we are in Rumble, because it's a rural community, where we are in Rumble, we are definitely poised to be dominant change agent. Because here you do not have any agro-processing unit.
Right.
No agro-processing unit. And so what will happen now is that persons will have the opportunity to establish a relationship, a meaningful relationship with the college. Because we are driven by social concerns in whatever we do. So although we are getting into producing, we are also ensuring that the small farmers and persons in the community will know that they have an entity in which they can get engaged. So our students are being encouraged through this program to take an entrepreneurial outlook and also to be engaged in agro-tourism. Yes, because we are seeking to go that route as well. Their adeptness is remarkable, given the time frame. Their adeptness is really remarkable. And I say again, and I will say it always, these are people working here who have a genuine concern for humanity.
No, we see it. We see it. I was going to ask you about the vision, but you mentioned some of the vision and some of the plans, and they're very exciting. And believe me, we see the passion from the faculty, and we also see even more. So more than the agro-processing, more than the technical part of it, we see them very invested in their careers. So Mrs. Reed, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for hosting us. And we look forward to seeing the success from the students and just so much more from Knockalva.
Right. The pleasure was all ours and is all ours because we intend to make sure that this relationship is sustained.
We made it. And so we are actually going to keep it moving, and we are going into our remarks section of this program. You are going to hear from Mr. Jason Fraser. He is the country representative for USA Jamaica. Followed by him, after that, you'll hear Dr. Donna Powell-Wilson, and we mentioned she's the executive director of the Council of Community Colleges. And then we're going to hear on industry, because the Honorable Floyd Green will deliver his remarks as Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. So let's hear from our partners.
The Honorable Fable Williams, Minister of Education, Youth and Information. Dr. Donna Powell-Wilson, Executive Director of the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica. Mrs. Pauline Reed, Principal of Knockalva Polytechnic Community College. My USAID colleagues, joining from both Washington, D.C., and of course my team members here in Jamaica. Members of the advanced program team from FHI 360 here in Jamaica, and of course in Washington, D.C. And of course the faculty, staff of the community colleges, other partners, media representatives, and students. Good morning. It's indeed a pleasure to participate on behalf of the United States Agency for International Development in this launch of the Agro-Processing Learning Lab at Knockalva Polytechnic College. My team and I wish we could be there in person, but of course COVID-19 protocols are being considered, and we can't all be there together face to face. But the advanced program has put forth a lot of effort to get to this point. It all started with USAID adding its voice to the conversation around the crucial skills gap among youth. Acknowledging this led to a labor market sectors assessment. It was done to highlight emerging or potential growth industries for Jamaica. These industries would require highly skilled and well-trained individuals. The labor market sectors assessment helped the advanced program to identify and focus on 3 industries: agribusiness, wellness tourism, and the creative industries. To better understand the youth we are trying to serve, we supported the study of barriers to access and completion, focusing on the issues that were limiting youth access to technical tertiary education. We learned that little to no career guidance, not enough visible examples of how people actually work in these industries, and an inability to access the technical skills were some of the key factors that were limiting some young people. And so with these studies and wider lessons, Advance and its technical tertiary partners have developed and revised selected 2-year associate degree programs aligned with agribusiness, wellness, tourism, and the creative industries. They've worked with faculty and other staff to strengthen their knowledge so they can better guide their students and actively engage students in career guidance, and facilitated crucial connections to industry experts, elevated and customized recruitment practices to find and inform marginalized youth about these 3 industries and potential careers. And they've also supported financial needs of students through scholarships. What a journey. So today, at the launch of the Agro-Processing Learning Lab at Knockalva Polytechnic, in partnership with the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica, we are collectively giving current students and future students a chance to enhance their learning experiences. It is so important that for this and other technical careers, students get to see what is happening in the real world, what is actually unfolding in the workplace. This agro-processing lab is what you would call a mini processing unit, where the students will do and learn remarkable things about food. I love food, I'm sure you do too. They'll work with specialized equipment to help them to practice and hone their skills in order to be prepared to work in the food industry. Now, I've been told we even have some budding entrepreneurs at Knockalva, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of your products on the supermarket shelves one day. I want to commend the board, principal, faculty, and staff at Knockalva Polytechnic College. Thank you for your commitment. You have already invested in getting the actual building ready and sought out partners. We are pleased to see this effort, and we encourage you to press ahead. You will achieve success. To the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica, thank you for your leadership. As a result of your partnership under the Advance program, we are able to collaborate with and continue to learn from the stellar professionals and community colleges across the country. The pandemic has made teaching and learning so difficult. We see that every day. But we have a chance to reshape education. We have a chance to enhance learning. We have a chance to ensure that even more youth get the opportunity to get those market-relevant skills that agribusiness and the other industries need. And to the students, we know it's hard, but keep doing your best. We are excited for you. You are the next set of agribusiness leaders, entrepreneurs, innovators, and wider industry experts that will help propel Jamaica to achieving more economic growth. And congratulations to our partners. We look forward to seeing more milestones as the Advanced program continues. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chisholm. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly allow me to use the protocols already established. The Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica acknowledges the partnership with FHI 360 through its advanced program funded by USAID. Through this partnership, there has been major achievements, some of which are: 1. Approximately 100 learners were given the opportunity to access tertiary education in market-driven technical-related programs. These brilliant minds would not have been able to access tertiary education due to the economic and psychological barriers. 2. During this period of COVID-19, students continued their educational pursuit. This due to the donation of tablets and tablet cases. 3. 2 new programs were developed and implemented, and these programs are currently being converted for online delivery. 4. Professional development opportunities were extended to faculty and staff. And 5. Career development campaigns were organized for students. It is therefore with gratitude that I, on behalf of the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica, once again express profound appreciation and gratitude to USAID for funding Knockalva Polytechnic College Learning Lab. This donation is timely and will provide learners with the right resources, thus enhancing the teaching-learning process. Thank you.
Minister of Education, Favour Williams. Of course, Mr. Joseph Fraser, our country representative from the USAID, other members of the team from the USAID, our FH360 team, Mrs. Pauline Reed, and that wonderful academic and auxiliary staff at the Knockalva Polytechnic College. Other special invited guests, of course, are students who have tuned in, members of the media. I'm very, very happy to be sharing today in this wonderful initiative. As destiny would have it, when I was State Minister in the Ministry of Education, I did meet with the FH360 team as they embarked on this advanced project. And I thought it was a wonderful initiative. I'm even more convinced now that the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is a direct beneficiary. And we're a direct beneficiary because a lot of the resources of the program have been put to developing or training around agribusiness. And for me, that is great, great news. So it's against this backdrop that we gather today to really signal the launch of the Agro-Processing Learning Lab at Knockalva. I could not think of a better institution to have this host, an institution that for decades have been focused on agricultural training and with a wonderful team of professionals that can ensure that we make the most out of this agro-processing learning lab. So I want to thank the FA360 team, the advanced program, the USAID family for investing in this support. And this is critical for us in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and for Jamaica for a number of reasons. One, the reality, any sector, any industry cannot advance further than the quality of its professionals. For agriculture to grow, to modernize, to infuse technology, we have to have well-trained students coming into agriculture. Students who have chosen agriculture as their profession and who have the technical expertise to revolutionize our agricultural system. That technical expertise is going to be delivered through training institutions like Knockalva. And as such, our ability to ensure that those institutions have cutting-edge technology, they're tapping into the world best in terms of resources, in terms of training expertise, they are pulling their youth closer to first world technologies will make all the difference. And that is what this Agro-Processing Learning Lab does. So it will allow Knockalva to produce a better quality student targeted in the direction that the ministry is going. And what is that direction? That direction is for us to move from just being primary producers to being agro-processors, to enhancing our value chain development, to ensure that we're taking Jamaica to the world, not just by way of our fresh produce, but by some of the best agro-processed items you can find already. Some of the biggest companies in Jamaica are agro-processing companies. But again, we don't have those conversations. Companies like Grace, Seprod, JP, they need well-trained graduates to continue developing our agro-processing industry. And the ministry is here to give that support. So we know, and Jambra has done tremendous work, and I want to challenge my students to look at the demand across the world for specific Jamaican products. Look at our demand for castor oil. that comes from our castor bean, the Jamaican black castor oil, fetches the highest price on the global market. How many of you who now sit here will use this agro-processing learning lab to develop a new product utilizing Jamaican black castor oil? That's just one example, but it shows you the vast potential of why we are gathered here today. So I commend the advanced team, I commend the USAID, and I commend Knockalva. And I cannot wait until this pandemic has dissipated and we are back to normal, where I can come and see these things in person and meet some of your wonderful students as we work together to develop a modern, research-based, sustainable agricultural sector. Thank you. Colleague Minister, Minister of Education,
To Minister Green, thanks to Dr. Donald Paul Wilson, and of course, thank you to Jason Fraser, the country representative for USAID. In case you're just joining us for this exciting, you see me smiling because we're all happy to be launching the Learning Lab here for the Agro-Processing program at Knockalva. And I just want to remind you to be following us on social media. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we look forward to connecting with you there. It's now time for our main address, our keynote, and the Honorable Fayval Williams, our Minister of Education, Youth and Information, is going to join us now. She should be joining us via Zoom. Yes, my production team is nodding. And so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Fayval Williams.
Coming. Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. Hold on. Turn on the.
Morning, everyone. Are they hearing me? Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, great. All right, let me say good morning to the leadership of the USAID who are present here this morning, CCC as well, who has sponsored the Agro-Processing Learning Lab. Let me thank the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica for extending the invitation for me to share with you in the official launch of this very important program. The partnership between the CCC and the USAID Advanced Program is a welcome intervention in broadening the scope of training programs available to our students. When the former Knockalva Agricultural School transitioned into being the Knockalva Polytechnic College in 2018, it was with the expressed intention of broadening its range of courses to meet labor market demands in various sectors, such as creative, logistics, engineering, and sports, among others, while continuing to focus on agriculture. Today's launch of the Agro-Processing Learning Lab is therefore an important step in fulfilling that mandate. As a tertiary level institution, the Knockalva Polytechnic College has been offering diverse programs such as vocational, professional education, and training under an industry-responsive model of education with opportunities for experimental learning, entrepreneurship, and applied research. I take this opportunity, therefore, to commend the Council of Community Colleges and the USAID Advanced Program for the training initiatives aligned to Jamaica's labor market needs. We also appreciate the capacity building and professional development programs for academic and non-academic staff. We're also quite pleased that this wide range of training is being offered in the western end of the island. This means that many of our talented and ambitious young people need not face any added challenges of relocating far away from home in order to pursue their training. We would really like to encourage our young people to see this as an opportunity to carve a niche in the agro-industry sector. Modern food processing industries use a variety of techniques to preserve food, maintain its consistency, facilitate its availability throughout the year, and also improve flavor. In addition, marketing and distribution of food is made much easier by food processing. The industry is diverse and includes different categories of workers who are responsible for processing raw food into finished products that can be marketed by independent grocers and wholesalers, as well as institutional food services. There are also long-term career possibilities in self-employment in agro-processing, employment with food processing companies such as Grace Kennedy, Seprod, Nestle, among others, or as food and nutrition consultants and researchers. You should also be aware that our Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is making a strong push to encourage increased production of local produce, not only for local consumption, but for export. The expertise of our creative young people will no doubt help to meet these objectives. The point is, this learning lab can help students to hone their skills and expand their career horizons. We at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information also see this as complementary to our efforts to expand training in technical and vocational education programs. The ministry is committed to working with training institutions and industry players to increase the talent pool of trained, competent, and certified persons ready for employment in various sectors, including in agro-industry and allied fields. We will continue consultations with human resource managers of companies to ascertain information on how to design professional development training programs for students. In this context, that we are encouraging and pursuing more public-private partnerships as we work collaboratively to meet the needs of the industry and national economic goals. If TVET is to be effective, there must be strong partnerships with training institutions and private companies through which our young people can obtain practical work experience. And I am sure that the administration here at Knockalva Polytechnic will continue to develop alliances with industry players to enable our students to gain practical experience. May I therefore once again express my deepest thanks and appreciation to the USAID for the funding support and the CCCJ for your coordinating role. Best wishes to the students who will enroll in this program. Make it work for you, make it work for Jamaica. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much. Good sound words. And you heard her, make it work for you. Tiania, is it Tiania Samuels? Yes, I was practicing the name just before. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us. Tell us about your experience here at Knockalva.
Well, my experience here is it's going on good and I have no regrets coming here.
Why did you come? Why enroll in this program?
Well, as a young girl growing up, I always have a passion for food and nutrition. Hearing about this course offered here at the Knockalva Polytechnic College about the agro-processing and business management, this will actually help me to actually further my studies and have more experience in the course going forward.
Tell me a little more, and also for our viewers who are watching us, some of the things you're actually learning in class.
Well, I am learning, I'm gaining a wealth of knowledge. I'm learning courses as microbiology, food chemistry, food engineering. I'm also learning about sustainable agriculture, the business aspect, accounting, all of those. I'm also learning about the processing food in the labs as well.
And you look like you're enjoying it.
Yes, I am enjoying it.
So all the speakers before were talking about the investment in the program, the partnership, and just now the Minister of Agriculture was talking about his vision for agriculture, and you heard the Minister of Education about her vision and push for good, solid training.
Yes.
So what's your vision for agriculture and when you leave Knockalva?
Well, my vision for the agricultural industry is that we use up our local crops. We make more products to put our brand Jamaica on the global market and not just here, but out there, so that person can realize that Jamaica is doing a very good job in the agricultural industry. Yes, that's my vision.
What's your tip for, say, a future student, a young person now, young or older, listening, watching, and wants to give it a try? What would you say?
I would say that agriculture is the way to go, and there's a lot of job opportunity out there, not just farming. When you hear about agriculture, you hear about just farming, not just farming, but the processing part, teaching, learning new things, experience, building new vision for the entrepreneur, because persons in my class want to become an entrepreneur, and the lab itself will actually give us the experience and the hands-on equipments that are there
to actually get into it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited and I'm looking out for seeing your stuff too. Yes. Look, you see? Don't forget,
Yes, I'm actually making new products out
there. You go. Like what? What product?
I've already made beetroot wine.
Wow.
Yes. Beetroot jam.
I've had beetroot juice. I've never had wine.
Yes, I've made the beetroot jam. I have made papaya jam. I have made pineapple wine and also pineapple jam.
You just gone. You're gonna leave. Thank you.
Yes.
It's such a pleasure to meet you. And I am looking forward to trying some of those products. I will be back. Mrs. Reed can tell you. I will come back and visit.
Teachers and staff have already tried the products, and it is going on well.
Well, I'm looking forward to my taste.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you.
Same to you.
And now we are actually getting into the main event. We're going to go officially launch our Agro-Processing Learning Lab here at Knockalva Polytechnic College. So I'm going to head over to the entrance. Thank you.
Now the second stage in our jam making is that we want to ensure that we cut off all the skin from the pineapple.
We did it. We did it. We have launched the Agro-Processing Learning Lab with our friends and just dear partners at Knockalva Polytechnic. I have to say a big thank you on behalf of the advanced program team. Thank you to our FHI 360 DC team for all the stellar support. We must thank our donor. Without our donor, USAID, this would not have been possible. We thank USAID for the vision, for even helping us to even get this program started. We're truly grateful. To the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica, led by Dr. Donna Powell Wilson. So many meetings, so many plans, so many conversations, trainings, curriculum development, scholarship management, recruitment, all these different areas of the program. We've worked hard, but we've had a good partner in the CCCJ, and we are really grateful for that. Make sure you're following us on social media, Twitter. We are on Instagram. You can actually also visit us at advancedprogram.org on our website, and just stay in touch with us, and because there is going to be more. Lots more program activities coming out. It's a tough time during the pandemic, but we are pressing on. We have good partners, we have great students, we have great faculty and non-teaching staff. And this is just a program that we want to invite you in to come and work with us. So with that, I'll say goodbye, or until next time. Thanks for joining us.